gusesagura n'ubupfapfa. Zirikana ko iyo mbimenya ari ijambo ribi maze ukoreshe neza imari yawe. Radio Imanzi 105.1 FM. Ibiyobyabwenge birica kandi birangiza. Rinda ubuzima bwawe n'ubwa mugenzi wawe, tugira igihugu kizira ibiyobyabwenge. Rubyiruko nimwe musingi ukomeye w'igihugu. Radio Imanzi 105.1 FM.
We got you updated. This is Radio Imanzi News in English.
Good evening, dear listener. Thank you for tuning in. This is Radio Imanzi 105.1 FM, broadcasting from Kigali. Hear the news in English, brought to you by Alvin Ungari. The headlines. China has offered Rwanda a $7.1 million debt relief of a loan used to build the Masaka-Kabuga Road under the Kigali Urban Road upgrading project. Rwanda Investigation Bureau, RIB, has arrested 5 employees of Rwanda Biomedical Center over alleged illegal procurement. Namibia's Deputy Prime Minister Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah is in an inch closer to becoming the southwestern country's first female president. Angola's Attorney General has said the International Criminal Police Organization, Interpol, has issued an international arrest warrant against businesswoman Isabel dos Santos. We'll be back with news in detail. Thank you. Welcome again. China has offered Rwanda a $7.1 million debt relief on a loan used to build the 6.3-kilometer Masaka-Kabuga Road under the Kigali Urban Road upgrading project. According to a statement issued by the government of Rwanda, the move is part of the Chinese government's decision to cancel the outstanding interest-free loan in accordance with the agreement on economic and technical cooperation between the two countries. Rwanda and China enjoy a healthy bilateral cooperation. This is evidenced by the substantial contribution of the Republic of China towards Rwanda's government aspirations. The agreement we signed today commends this relationship. Rwanda's Minister of Finance and Economic Planning, Uziel Ndagijimana, said after signing the debt cancellation agreement, China was presented by its ambassador to Rwanda, Wang Sheikun. Dr. Ndagijimana acknowledged the strong economic cooperation between the two countries, which has seen Rwanda benefit from China's support in various sectors, including infrastructure, energy, education, and health. China says the debt cancellation is part of the economic package announced by President Xi Jinping at the 8th Ministerial Conference of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation. Mr. Wang said in a statement, China hopes by offering this financial support to contribute to Rwanda's all-around transformation and recovery from the malign impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. And in the future, China will work with Rwanda for deeper practical cooperation in various fields under the Belt and Road Initiative framework to deliver more benefits to the two peoples. The Rwanda National Police is investigating Chinese-made Haul trucks after they were involved in multiple fatal accidents. The revelation was made in Parliament today, November 29th, as the Rwanda National Police answered Senate questions about road safety. 15 people have so far lost lives in accidents involving trucks since January this year. George Imanzi, the Commissioner of Police in charge of Operations and Public Order, told told the Senate Committee in Foreign Affairs and Security. Since January this year, the Howo dump trucks manufactured by China National Heavy Duty Truck Group have been the focus of public attention following a number of accidents which killed people. The recent accident involving a Howo truck in October claimed 6 people, including 3 young siblings. The public perception about the Howo trucks is that they might have mechanical problems. Imanzi said Rwanda National Police have been tasked to investigate the trucks. Our mechanical engineers have been working with other institutions and the importers to see whether these vehicles could have a particular problem. Imanzi added a preliminary report 2 weeks ago did not show conclusive findings and that investigation was still ongoing. He hinted that they're examining the weight of the truck vis-a-vis Rwanda's steep roads and are collecting information from other countries where similar trucks are used. George Imanzi said people found the Howo efficient due to more loading capacity compared to other small trucks previously used in Rwanda. The common type of Howo dumper used in Rwanda can carry 21 to 30 tons. Rwanda Revenue Authority, RRA, has cautioned traders and buyers who refuse to provide or request the electronic billing machine EBM receipts that they risk facing heavy punishments. This was announced during a joint press conference with Rwanda Revenue Authority, the Private Sector Federation PSF, Rwanda Inspectorate Competition and Consumer Protection RICA, and Rwanda National Police. Officials revealed different ways used by traders to evade taxation and advised them to do away with such unlawful acts and resort to always using EBM. Hajara Batamuliza, Commissioner of Domestic Taxes at Rwanda Revenue Authority, said the body has continuously created awareness of the use of EBM gadgets since inception in 2013 to avoid cases of tax evasion. She added that since then, traders have been urged to issue EBM receipts and buyers asking for the same receipts at every business transaction. Batamuriza indicated that henceforth every trader caught not issuing EBM receipts on every sale will be charged with fines and penalties to recover all taxes evaded and be prosecuted by the court of law, as well as business closure for 30 days. She emphasized that every buyer whose purchases are not supported by EBM receipts will have the goods seized and auctioned. The Rwanda Investigation Bureau (RIB) has arrested 5 employees of Rwanda Biomedical Center over alleged illegal procurement. Thierry Murangira, the spokesperson of Rwanda Investigation Bureau, confirmed that on Monday, 26th, James Kamanzi, former Deputy General Manager at Rwanda Biomedical Center, along with Fidel Rwema, who was a Rwandan Biomedical Center employee in Karongi region, Fidel Ndaisenga, Jean-Pierre Ndayambaje, Leonci Kairanga, all of whom are RBC employees and members of the Rwanda Biomedical Center Procurement Committee, who are all in custody. The suspects are locked up at Kicukiro, Kimirongo and Gwezamenyo RIB stations while investigation continues. Illegal procurement is a crime and punishable by Article 188 of Illegal Public Procurement. A person convicted of committing this crime is bound to imprisonment of not less than 5 years, but no more than 7 years, and a fine of 5 million Rwandan francs and not less than 2 million Rwandan francs. It is committed by an employee. If it is committed by an employee under the orders of his manager, that manager shall be punished with imprisonment of not less than 7 years, but no more than 10 years, and a fine of 5 million Rwandan francs and not more than 10 million Rwandan francs. Heavy rain that has been pouring down in Nyamagabe district in the past few days claimed the lives of 8 people, including students who were returning from school. It is said that the rain, characterized by wind, caused floods, landslides, while some houses' roofs were blown away. As he interacted with residents from Mushubi sector today, Police Commander for Nyamagabe District Senior Superintendent Burahinda Nacho reminded them to develop proactive measures against disasters. He said in the past days, rain killed a large number of residents in this district. You need to be cautious and avoid neglecting any water body, whatever the size. We have so far lost 8 people, all attempting to cross rivers, and you need to exercise extreme vigilance to remain safe. The deceased include 2 students washed away by River Homane as they returned home from school. The mayor of Nyamagabe District, Hildebrand Nyomunjeri, has requested residents to heighten vigilance during the rainy season and relocate from risky zones prone to landslides. He reminded them to tighten roofs lest they be blown away by wind and dig waterways to prevent disasters. The disasters also ravaged crops and destroyed houses in different sectors. We'll be back with economic news.
Economic news is a regular feature on Radio Imanzi.
The trading session recorded a total turnover of 25,748,400 Rwandan francs worth of bonds traded in 7 deals on the fixed income market, while the equities market remained quiet. Equities counters closed as follows: Bralirwa at 166 Rwandan francs, Bank of Kigali at 270 Rwandan francs, I&M Rwanda at 43 Rwandan francs, Simerwa at 120 Rwandan francs, MTN Rwanda at 176 Rwandan francs, Equity at 440 Rwandan francs, Kenya Commercial Bank at 370 Rwandan francs, National Media Group at 1,200 Rwandan francs, Uchumi Supermarket Limited at 104 Rwandan francs, and R&H Buffalo at 526 Rwandan francs. The United States dollar was buying 1,047 Rwandan francs and was selling 1,068 Rwandan francs. The British pound, the buying price was 1,258 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 1,283 Rwandan francs. The euro was buying 1,087 Rwandan francs and was selling 1,109 Rwandan francs. The Kenyan shilling was buying 8.5 Rwandan francs and was selling 8.7 Rwandan francs. The Tanzanian shilling was buying 0.44 Rwandan francs and was selling 0.45 Rwandan francs. The Ugandan shilling was buying 0.28 Rwandan francs and was selling 0.29 Rwandan francs. The Burundian francs was buying 0.50 Rwandan francs and was selling 0.51 Rwandan francs. We'll be back shortly with international news.
Some items of international news on Radio Imanzi.
Angola's Attorney General has said the International Criminal Police Organization, Interpol, has issued an international arrest warrant against businesswoman Isabel dos Santos. The whereabouts of Miss dos Santos, aged 49, the daughter of the country's former president José Eduardo dos Santos, it is not clear, but she has properties and lives between Portugal, the United Kingdom, and the United Arab Emirates. She has been ranked by Forbes as one of Angola's and Africa's richest woman. Ms. Dos Santos is facing $5 billion corruption allegations, which she has denied, saying they were politically motivated. In 2019, a Luanda court decreed the preventive seizures of her personal bank accounts. According to Ms. Hilde Peter Gross, who addressed journalists in Luanda after a meeting of the Attorney General's Office Council, the warrant of arrest was issued after she failed to respond to the several notifications that were sent to her by the court. There has been an ongoing criminal case against her since 2018. Mr. Gross said there was also an attempt by the Attorney General's office to notify her of the charges at her residence in the Moro Bento condominium in Luanda, but the businesswoman refused to sign the notification and left the country. Ms. Gross added that the Attorney General's office is working with Interpol, which has the mission of disseminating the warrant in all the countries that are part of this international police organization. Namibia's ruling party on Monday, November 28th, elected Nandi Ndaitwah as its vice president, making her the front runner to lead the party into the country's upcoming national elections in 2024. The 70-year-old aged-out Prime Minister Sarah Kungongelwa Amadila and Environment Minister Pohamba Shifeta in the race for the number 2 position in the Southwest African People's Organization. President Hage Gayombe, who is due to step down at the end of his current term, refused to endorse a successor as his predecessors had done. SWAPO had led Namibia since independence in 1990 and remains the country's biggest political party, but its popularity has recently waned because of discontent over rampant unemployment and a graft scandal that led to the arrests of former cabinet ministers and businessmen linked to the party. The Central Africa government said a plane that flew back to a neighboring country bombed a base of its army and Russian paramilitary allies in the northwest on Monday, threatening retaliation. The aircraft dropped explosives in the town of Bosangoa, targeting the base of our defense forces, that of our allies, as well as the cotton factory. The government of this country, where the army and hundreds of fighters from the Russian private security group Wagner are fighting rebels, said in a statement. This is the first time, at least publicly announced, that a suspected attack by a hostile aircraft has occurred at least since the civil war began in 2013. The statement concluded an investigation has been opened to establish responsibility for this despicable act perpetrated by enemies of peace, which cannot go unpunished, and all measures have already been taken to deal with any eventuality. Relations are tense between Chad and Central African Republic. Bangui accuses N'Djamena of allowing armed groups to use its territory as a fallback base and of having granted asylum to their main leader, former President Francois Bozize. In the late May 2021, Chad accused Central Africa army of killing 6 of its soldiers, 5 of whom were abducted and executed in an attack on a border post on its territory. The Burundian government has assured the safety and peace of its exiled citizens in Tanzania and urged them to return home after completing nearly 7 years in exile. This was revealed in the Nyarugusu camp, housing more than 4,000 Burundian refugees, as Burundian leaders and former refugees gave peaceful testimonies of their country to refugees. Deputy Interior Minister Bonansizi Celestin noted that there is currently no threat to prevent refugees from returning to Burundi. For his part, Burundi's Inspector General of Police Ndihonyeho Isidore assured refugees of adequate security compared to when they fled. Refugees themselves, despite mentioning their willingness to return, expressed fear over the actions of some returnees, citing threats. Senegal have qualified for the first knockout stage of the 2022 Qatar World Cup. The Teranga Lions beat Ecuador by 2-1 in a pulsating encounter that is arguably the best showing of the African Championship at the Khalifa International Stadium in Doha, Qatar. The important win gave Senegal 6 points, enough to sit second place in Group A, where Netherlands led with 7, having easily gone past host Qatar in a 2-0 win, a match played simultaneously with that of Senegal against Ecuador. That brings us to the end of today's program. Let us look at the headlines once more. China has offered Rwanda a $7.1 million debt relief on a loan used to build the Masaka-Kabuga Road under the Kigali Urban Road Upgrading Project. Rwanda Investigation Bureau has arrested 5 employees of Rwanda Biomedical Center over alleged illegal procurement. Namibia's Deputy Prime Minister Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah is an inch closer to becoming the southwestern country's first female president. Angola's Attorney General has said the International Criminal Police Organization Interpol has issued an international arrest warrant against businesswoman Isabel dos Santos. Thank you for staying with me. Have a wonderful night and stay safe.